Yo, what's up, everybody? You doing out there on Instagram land while filming live with YouTube? Why not, right? Why not? A little double dipping, multitasking, content creation, but really it's all about helping you guys get to where you want to go. Hello, all the waves, all the thumbs up. Hey, everybody, as I'm screaming into the microphone. Good to see you all. Nice, everyone's here. What time is it? A little 4:30 p.m. East Coast, 1:30. Double down. Jake, what's up, my brother? Good to see you. Jerry Ward's in the house. BioS3 Raw TV. What's up, my brother? Good to see you, Jerry. Cold, homie, right? Damn, this East Coast. I'm loving it. Loving it. Cold as hell out here. How is everybody? So the push-up squat count remains at 18. I've said 18 January 1st publicly. That's actually not bad in 22 days. Woo! Looks like Uncle Mike is going to heaven. I might even be up for sainthood. I appreciate it. Cassie, what's up, Cassie? Good to see you. BP says, do you think it was healthy for TJ to cut that much weight? He looks skinny, and some MMA fighters said the brain is the last to get hydrated. I actually did a YouTube video on this. I did about 10 minutes or so. Actually, it was almost 30 minutes where I break down what TJ's body might have experienced due to the extreme nature of his weight cut. And I broke down what the difference is of mild dehydration, moderate dehydration, and severe dehydration. At this level, TJ likely was severely dehydrated. That's not necessarily out of the ordinary for mixed martial arts competitors. I think TJ likely did this as safely and healthy as possible while noting this is extremely unhealthy. There's nothing good or healthy about this and what he did. And at the same time, I think he probably did it about as well as he could do while not working with us. Ha, ha, ha. I only say that because we have 20 plus years of experience, teams of registered dietitians, exercise physiologists, who really do focus on this. But I don't know for sure what he did. He could have done an amazing job. But even at his best, and this is what I said, even at his best, it's not his best. And I used, because we work with a lot of Division I NCAA wrestlers, and there's almost a gentleman's agreement when you're wrestling, because there's 1 hour weigh-ins at in scholastic wrestling. You weigh in an hour later, you're wrestling. So the weight cuts are what they are, and a lot of times athletes will cut weight, and their opponent will cut weight, and neither athlete will be 100%. So it's a gentleman's agreement that they're both going out there 60, 70, 80% of their true best. Likely TJ went out there below his true best, below his 100%. Henry likely did go out there at a closer level to 100%. Now, Henry cuts a lot of weight also, but this is Henry's weight class. Henry is naturally a smaller athlete. TJ is naturally a bigger athlete. TJ has not been down to this weight class, 125, in 9 years, TJ said, since he was a 19-year-old college wrestler. Henry's made this weight multiple times now and really seems to have been doing a good job at this weight class. At 125, Henry looked like the bigger, healthier, fresher, more explosive, and even faster fighter. Now, we didn't get to see much. We only got to see 30 seconds of competition. TJ might have settled into his body 3 minutes in, 7 minutes in, 22 minutes in. We don't know because we didn't get the chance to see. What we did see was TJ get hit with what looked like a glancing blow, and it changed the course of the fight. Now, I said it in the video, and everyone should go back and watch the YouTube video. I actually do a much better job in explaining and showing scientific studies of what actually happens to the body and visuospatial awareness and cognitive output and the cerebral spinal fluid. I break some of these things down in that YouTube video. Go check out our YouTube channel on that. And to close the loop here for you guys, TJ was rocked with a shot that he could not recover from, delivered by a much smaller man not known for knockout power. When we've seen TJ walk through much bigger shots from much bigger men known for knockout power. So, did the weight cut adversely affect him? I don't know for sure. I can't say. Nobody can say for sure. In my opinion, was it a contributing factor in his loss? Yes. At 135, I don't believe the same shot Henry landed would have affected TJ in the same manner to the same negative degree that it did. I believe TJ would have been able to take that shot, possibly not even feel that shot, and implement his game plan. I would love to see this fight run back at 135. Henry seems open to this fight at 135. That is an exciting fight at 135. At 135, I believe TJ will then have all the advantages. I would predict TJ wins this fight at 135, necessitating a rubber match, which could be at 125 or 135. For TJ, I'd like to see it at 135. For Henry, I'd like to see it back down at 125. Maybe they can find a catchweight somewhere in between. So I hope that's helpful. Are spices on 3 weeks to shredded allowed? Of course they are. And for those that don't know, 3 weeks to shredded is the most successful healthy weight loss program ever devised, as proven by the world's greatest athletes competing in weight class dominated sports for over 20 years. 3 weeks to shredded and the DOLCE diet have a 100% success ratio in getting our athletes on weight on time every single time for over 20 years while competing at the highest levels of athletic competition. That is in the Olympics, that is in the NCAAs, and that is inside the UFC octagon. You can go to thedolcediet.com right now and join up your own online personalized 4-week or 12-week diet and exercise program. There it is for you. Go and get it. And yes, spices are allowed. Des Lee says, hello from Sydney, Australia. One of my favorite places on the planet. Beautiful weather out there right now. Also, I've been to Sydney many times. I've been to Melbourne. I've been to Brisbane. I've been to Perth. I'm what's the word? An Aussie at heart. Thoughts on Brian Shaw's diet? I don't know what Shaw's diet is specifically, so I can't really comment. Wish I could, but I'm sure he's eating nothing short of small puppies. King Hap, what's up? What's up, everybody? This phone keeps moving on me, so let me slide it over here a little bit. I'm using my phone right now because my iPad keeps dying. It's time for a new iPad. It's that time. Yo. Amanda, benefits of bone broth, and which one do you prefer, chicken or beef? I prefer beef. What's the benefit? Typically higher collagen. I don't, in the back of my head, have the list of bone broth, so let me do a bit more research. I'll put a tweet out or an Instagram post for you, Amanda. Jay says, on 3 weeks to shredded and down 10 pounds already. Damn. Jay is down 10 pounds following our 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com. There you go. Thoughts on hot sauces? I like hot sauces. Get them as natural, organic, non-processed as possible. And if you are a true fan of the spicy, simply use peppers. That's what our man Dwayne Bang Ludwig does. Rebecca, speaking of my Australian friends. What's up, Rebecca? Good to see you, young lady. Technician, drinking 30 minutes before or after a meal, does it make a difference for the digestive system? No. Cassie, we've chatted about this before. Is it possible to stay lean and gain muscle without gaining excess fat? Absolutely. And in fact, that's the goal. The goal is to gain lean muscle tissue. Gaining lean muscle tissue. And here's what we do with 3 weeks to shredded. The goal of 3 weeks to shredded is not to lose weight. It's to lose non-functional weight. It is to maintain our current level of lean muscle tissue and even build or replicate new lean muscle tissue. Remember, 3 weeks to shredded was designed for weight class restricted athletes, which means these athletes have to weigh in and then they have to go and compete. We cannot give up an ounce, a gram of lean muscle tissue. We fought our tails off for the entire offseason trying to become better. Why are we going to give that weight up on the scale? So no, we don't want to give that weight up. We want to sustain at worst, build at best. So anytime we go into any weight loss, we think about how can we gain muscle tissue. The net effect of trying to gain muscle tissue while losing body fat is the maintenance. At worst case scenario, we maintain what we have. Best case scenario, we can add a little bit more. Thoughts on carb cycling with something that we suggest constantly. I'm I'm a strong advocate of carb cycling, and that's actually principle number 2 is we to eat based upon activity. When you're eating based upon activity, what did you just do? What are you about to do? Carb cycling becomes a natural part of that mindful, intuitive, intentional process. BP says, you are amazing. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you so much. Logan, 58 push-ups straight. I'm going to hit 100 by summer. Darn, you're going to hit 100 by February. In February, I predict right now, Logan Cruisin will do 100 nonstop push-ups during the month of February. That's my prediction. I have faith in you. King Hat, hey, Mike, Coach Mike, I've been sick for a week, got it bad. I'm not 100% yet, still a little fatigued and some body aches. Too soon to go back to work out, been still doing lists. I would say take your time off. What's the rush? Get healthy. I'm one of the few coaches out there that tells their athletes, take a day off, take 3 days off, take the weekend off, take your wife, your girl, your husband, whatever, on a little mini vacation. Get out of here. Get out of here, relax, recharge the batteries. But when your ass shows up on Monday, we better work, baby. We better work. That's my expectation. That's the way I coach. When we train, we train. There's no excuses. We leave it all at the door. We check our ego. We come in, we train, we get it done. And if we have any sort of issue, get your ass out of the gym. Go fix it. Go get healthy. Get your mind right. Get your body right. So that's my strong suggestion. Yo. Liam, I'm a wrestler for my school. Hell yeah, Liam. What's up? Kevin, what's up, man? Black Mamba, I thought you don't use protein powder. Well, we've always advocated the use of a whey protein isolate in a caloric deficit specifically. So when you're in an A-type phase, and that's usually 10% of the time. So 10% of the people, 10% of the time should look into different type of sports supplements because now you're really trying to peak. But most of you, 90% of the time, need to get your food right, food first. Your supplements don't mean anything if you're not eating right, if you're not eating breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks. It doesn't mean anything. If you're not getting your total macro and micro supply of vital nutrition, it doesn't matter what you're taking supplement-wise. You're just wasting your money. Just send me your supplement money. Send it to my buddy Jerry Ward. Just send us your money and expect no product in return. But when you're doing everything correctly, when you're eating properly, when you're training properly, when you're sleeping properly, when you're managing stress, then sports supplements come into play. But that's 1 out of 10 of you. That's 10% of you. And it's only 10% of the time. It's not every day, every meal, every week, every month. It's not that at all. When you are in an A-type phase, I say A-type phase because now we're trying to achieve something. We're trying to push ourselves. We're really watching the calories. We're watching our diet, but we need those extra aminos in our system. And we need to get those amino acids in our system at the lowest possible caloric threshold because we're trying to scrape out every single fat store possible. But we need those aminos to sustain that lean muscle tissue. That's where something like a whey protein isolate will become very beneficial. But mind you, we don't talk about it. We don't push it. Sometimes some of you should and actually would need to use something like that to achieve that A-type success. But that's 10% of the time, and that's only 10% of you. And make that clear. Let you know that. 90% of your time, which means 90% of the days of the year, you should be focused on just food. Just food, just food, just food. And once you get that, guys, once you're in that 8 to 12% body fat range, gals, once you're in that, 15 to 25% body fat range, once you're there, you're living there, you're crushing there, you're hitting PRs there, you're feeling good there, you're happy there, you're fucking, boom, I did it, I cursed. See, I was so amped up. That's 19 push-ups, 19 squats. All right, cool, you tricked me into it. But once you're there, then you can start throwing in a little bit of that sports supplement. That would be a whey protein isolate maybe. That would be a creatine monohydrate maybe. I'm not even going to say it. Because I don't want you guys to do it, though it's legal, though it's WADA approved. I won't put it out there just because the stim effect is just not good. But there's a few other sports supplements that are effective that you can consider. When to start cutting back on sodium before a weigh-in? I don't know, anywhere between 12 to 36 hours beforehand, but cutting back is not cutting out. We never cut out our sodium completely, nor should you ever go zero sodium. Never go zero sodium. And if you're following 3 weeks of shredded, your body will naturally, we actually, peak and valley you. Anthony says, TJ looked weaker, smaller, and got thrown to the ground. It was weird. It was weird. He just didn't look himself, and I think that's all. He just didn't look himself. But everyone has bad days too, you know. Papa Mike, someone was trying to convince me about the keto diet. I told them it was BS. That real food is thumbs up. Alani, I'm with you 100%. Real food, that's what it's about. It's about real food. It's about real food. That's all. Come on. Drinking 30 minutes, I answered that. How much time before bed should dinner be eaten? Have a long commute home and go to bed early. Debating if I should eat dinner before I leave work. Yeah, eat before you leave work. That fits. Something like I'm doing my program now to help people doing exercise, physiology, nutrition, and psychology this year. Awesome. Also, my martial arts nutrition coach swears by the same methods you talk about. I love it, Pico. That's awesome. You're in good hands. Mr. Vegas, I'm done with the 12-week. Can I just keep doing the workouts and the meal plans and change it up as it does in the program? Absolutely. That's what we gave you, 200 additional exercises and 200 additional recipes inside the online program at thedolcediet.com. Mr. Vegas, that's what we gave it to you for. Once you get through the 4-week or 12-week, you still have access to your profile. Now just going into the resource section and start swapping out some of those meals. You create more variety and you allow your body to continue recomposition, building lean muscle tissue and losing non-functional body weight. I love it. Good for you. I got another minute or so, guys and gals, and I'm going to bump out of here. I appreciate you all being here. Trying to answer a couple more quick questions. What are some cardio ideas when it's too icy outside to run and walk safely? Can you do body weight squats? Can you do push-ups? Can you do V-ups? Can you run in place? They say Nelson Mandela, while in jail, used to run marathons in his 6x6 jail cell. You can actually stand in place and just jog in place as if you were outside. Believe it or not, you can actually do that. Where there's a will, there's a way. And you can get it done for sure. Do you usually keep record of how a typical priority client loses weight? I believe some trends will look different from others. We keep all data. We are data freaks. Data is everything. Data drives everything we do. So when I talk, and this is what a lot of people don't get, when I talk, when I say the things I do, it's all data oriented. It's our data oriented. Now, a lot of people out there, they talk about all these different hocus pocus bogus nutrition plans. And they talk about other people's work. Well, Dr. So-and-so said this, and this team over in that country 3 decades ago, they did a study that said that. And they plant their flag on other people's work. That's wrong. We plant our flag on our work, on what we see. And I don't know anyone who works with more people than we do, and I don't know anyone who works with more people consistently at such a high level than we do. And I don't know anyone who has the success that we do at the world-class level and at the average layperson, with the average layperson. I don't know, and maybe they're out there, but I don't know any other team that has more success than we do, from the absolute elite athletes to the lowest common denominator human just trying to get their life together. We have that. So when I talk, when our team talks, when we put information out into the fitness sphere, it's based upon what works, what we've seen work, what we've proven works. And that's what gets me mad about a lot of these fitness frauds that are running around out there trying to point fingers and talk about all these things, you know, the keto this and the fasting that and the pills, the powders, the potions, and the yada, yada, yada. But they don't actually do that in their real life. And they don't actually have a track record of doing that with real people and changing those people's lives. They just sit there at their little computer, the little terminal, and they tweet away and they post away, and they talk about all these bullet points. They're like politicians, fitness politicians. And that's the unfortunate part of what we get stuck with, because then I get stuck with trying to re-educate you guys on what you already know, which is common sense-based lifestyle approach to health and fitness. Just eating real food in great moderation, in great variety with moderation, as local, organic, and non-processed as possible, as raw and in season as possible, as nutrient dense as possible. That's what we try and teach you. Get away from the synthetic, get away from the processed, get away from the garbage, get away from the genetically modified, get away from the conventionally raised with pesticides. Let's get away from that stuff, and let's just start eating real food. And people are like, oh, Dolce is an a-hole because he's saying that you shouldn't drink diet cola that has synthetic chemicals in it. And I'm just like, yeah, dudes, why don't you just drink water with like fresh squeezed lemon or some like, green tea with sliced strawberries in there or something. You can actually make your own delicious Arnold Palmer if you want to with a little raw honey, fresh brewed black tea and some lemon juice, and it's amazing. Why not just do that? Why am I going to bump synthetic chemicals into my body? That makes no sense. And you get all these fake fitness frauds that are running around out there with their super crappy energy drinks and their super crappy colas and their super crappy processed, meal replacement bars and their super crappy. And they try to criticize us for simply saying, well, why not just eat, the same foods that have sustained all of life on this planet since the dawn of time? Why don't we just kind of do that stuff, guys? And here's a great way to do it. And here's some awesome recipes that we've come up with. Feel free to create your own, but here's about 300 or 400 recipes that my team has come up with over the last 20 or so years. That's all we do over here. And the results are pretty astounding. Like I said, we're the only team with a 20-year track record with a 100% success ratio while preparing the world's greatest athletes. And PhDs have been in this industry, and MDs have been in this industry, and RDs have been in this industry, and self-styled nutrition experts and weight management specialists, so they call themselves, have come in, and they've all failed, and they failed miserably. Yet our team doesn't fail, and they all prescribe to these weird, hokey, exclusionary fad diet practices, and we don't. We just keep our heads down, and we just swing the axe and chop the tree down using basics, and that works every time. All right, I got another second or two to get out of here, and I apologize, I got to go. Leah, I started 3 weeks to Shredded on Monday. Can't wait to see the results. Boom, Leah, welcome to the family. Whatever you need, I am here. I try and do these live Q&As every single day and answer all your questions. You can always shoot me a DM, or you can send an email through the contact link inside your personal dashboard to our support team, and you will get an answer from us. Whatever you need, we are here. You're on my radar, Leah Mills. You're on my radar. I'm looking forward to seeing what your results are. Let's get it. All right, guys and gals, I do have to jump off. My apologies. I just wanted to get on, answer some questions, make sure you're all doing well. Whatever I can do to help you in the future, I am here for you. I want you to keep crushing it, keep pushing it, keep doing your absolute best in everything that you do, because that's what matters. We got to do our best. No matter what we do, we have to do our best. Everything, every action, every thought, every day, every opportunity, let's just do our best. That's all we have to do. Until next time, boom.